Good morning, children. Today you are dealing with the second physical feature, the northern plains. So, this northern plain is formed as a result of three river systems, Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra, also called as the Indo-Gangetic plain. It is found in the north of Peninsular Plateau and south of the Himalayas. So, which are the three river systems which constitute the northern plains? They are Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. It is also called as the Indo-Gangetic plain. The plain formed so by these deposition of these three rivers is also known as Indo-Gangetic plain, and this Indo-Gangetic plain or the northern plain is found north of the Peninsular Plateau and the south of the Himalayas. And as a result of the upliftment of the Himalayas, a lot of silt were being brought down by the rivers originating in the Himalayas, and these depositional work took millions of years for the formation of this such a plain. And the width of this plain goes on increasing from east to west. It increases, its width increases from east to west, and it spreads about over 7 lakh kilometers. Its width extends up to about 7 lakh square kilometers, and it is about 2400 kilometers long, and it lies between 2040 to 320 kilometers broad. So, what is its length? It extends about 2400 kilometers in length and 240 to 320 kilometers in breadth. Now, the rivers that originate in the northern plains, it carries lot of eroded materials. They are swift flowing rivers. They carry lot of eroded materials as they flow from the mountains towards the lower regions. So, as it flow down or as it reaches the lower courses, as these rivers reaches the lower course, its speed, its velocity goes on decreasing, and it start to deposit the eroded materials whatever it has brought along with the water, and this has led to the creation of a feature which you call as riverine island. So, riverine island means it is an island like structure that you see in rivers. That our island in rivers are called as riverine island, and river Brahmaputra makes such a riverine island which you call it as Majuli, and it is the largest inhabited riverine island in the world. Now, as the rivers again flow forward, its speed goes on decreasing and decreasing. That means the river is flowing downwards, so its speed goes on decreasing and decreasing, and as a result of the decrease in speed of these rivers, it begins to split up into a number of channels because of the huge amount of silt that is being brought down by the rivers. So, this leads to the formation of distributaries. So, when rivers are divided into a number of small channels as a result of the weight of the silt that is being brought down by the rivers, you call it as distributaries. Now, these distributaries are flowing forward, again when it reaches the mouth of a river, it leads to the formation of a structure which you call as delta. It is triangular in shape and it represents the Greek letter delta, and that is why you call these areas as delta. So, the Ganga Brahmaputra delta is one of the biggest deltas in the world. Now, this northern plains is divided into three. They are Punjab plain, Ganga plain and the Brahmaputra plain. So, the Indo-Gangetic plain or the northern plains are further divided into three. They are the Punjab plain, the Ganga plain and the Brahmaputra plain. So, first moving on to the Punjab plain, how it is being formed. So, Punjab plain is found on the top western part of or made by the Indus and its tributaries. So, the top western part you can see the Punjab plain, and it is made by Indus and its tributaries. So, you know what is Punjab, what is the meaning of the word Punjab. Punj means 5 and Ab means water. So Punjab means it's a land of 5 rivers. So which are the 5 rivers that you see in Punjab? They are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas and Satluj. So these rivers make the Punjab plain, and a major portion of this Punjab plain lies in Pakistan. Now this Punjab plain is also dominated by an area which you call as Doab. D-O-A-B. Doab means 2 and Ab means water. So land between 2 rivers is called as Doab. So in Punjab you can see in many areas you can see land between 2 water bodies which you call as the Doab. So I think you have no doubt related to Punjab plains. Now next is the Ganga plain, again divided into upper Ganga plain, middle Ganga plain and the last one is delta. So this Ganga plain is found in the middle portion of Gagra river and the Teesta river in West Bengal. So where is Ganga plain found? It is found in the middle portion of the Gagra river and the Teesta river, and this Ganga plain covers almost the major portion of the northern India. And it includes states like Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal, which constitute the areas of the Ganga plain. So the last one is the Brahmaputra plain. Brahmaputra plain is found in the eastern portion, that is in the east of Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. And see, this Brahmaputra plain makes a lot of relief features according to the width. So width wise it is divided into 4. It's very important. So make it a point to learn it. So river Brahmaputra, width wise it makes a number of relief features which you call as Babar, Terai, Bangar and Kadar. So which are the 4 divisions of Brahmaputra on the basis of width? Babar, Terai, Bangar and the Kadar. So the first one we will move on to Babar. What is Babar? See, Babar extends over 8 to 16 kilometers, or it is 8 to 16 kilometers wide, and it's a narrow belt of level surface that you see in the northern plains. And it lies parallel to the foothills of the Shivaliks. So after descending from the mountains, the rivers after descending from the mountains, it will be bringing a lot of eroded materials from the mountains. So the pebbles that are being brought down by the rivers are deposited, which you call it as the Babar. And when it reaches the Babar ground, all the streams will be disappearing, and as well as the level of water will also be higher when you take the case of Babar. Now again the water will be moving forward, depositing the eroded materials. So the next feature that you see is the Terai. It is about 20 to 30 kilometers wide. So when it is found to the south of the Babar region. Babar is found north and Terai is found south of the Babar region. So as it reaches here, rivers begin to re-emerge here, and it creates a sort of wet swampy areas. That means a marshy region is being created here, and these areas, that means the Terai regions, were earlier very thickly forested, and there were lots of wildlife also here. And now these forested areas, due to the increase in population, these forested areas are being cut cleared, so for agricultural work. See, they had to supplement a lot of land areas for the migrants who came from Pakistan. So that these forest areas were cleared. Now Dudhwa National Park in Uttar Pradesh is one of the important park that you could see in the Terai regions. Now next one is the Bangar. Bangar occupies the largest portion of the northern plains, and it consists of older alluvium. When you learned about the types of soil, you had learned about older alluvium and new alluvium. So Bangar is composed of old alluvial soil, and this feature creates a terrace-like structure which is rich in calcareous. And this in India you call it as Kankar, K-A-N-K-A-R. This is related to Bangar, and it lies in the floodplains of the rivers. It is found much higher than the floodplains of the rivers. That means the Bangar. And the last one is last feature is the Kadar. So it is the lowest region of the floodplain, and here this floodplain is renewed year after year at times of flood, and these areas are very suitable for the purpose of doing agricultural work. So these are the 4 features that you see in river Brahmaputra widthwise. Thank you.